Hello, this is Cryptolyze. I hope you are well. On this Friday, 15 September 2023, we meet today to talk about CHZ, Chiliz's crypto. As usual in these update videos, we will dissect it into two parts. A fundamental part where we will come back to what Chiliz is, its news, and then a technical part where we will project ourselves at the level of technical analysis on purchase prices, sale prices, depending on the cost, and you will see that there are elements which are very interesting on Chiliz. It starts right away. Chiliz is a blockchain specialized in entertainment. So what is interesting is that, as a result, it is a blockchain which is infrastructure, but which is specialized infrastructure. So I would like to call it a layer one, but for me it's really something that's a bit different, in which they built their blockchain to be able to respond to a really very specific request. It's not intended to build decentralized applications like other blockchains. It's something that is really specialized. Besides, the real goal of Chiliz is to provide an environment for building sports and entertainment applications. It's really their hobby. It's where they build everything. It's where they became known for the notion of fan tokens. And to go further, you have to understand that Chiliz has built an exchange within its ecosystem that allows you to buy fan tokens. If we want to buy PSG token or City token, I have to exchange it for CHZ. I have no choice. It's linked. It's directly interfaced. On this, you will tell me as usual that yes, but on Binance, I can buy with USDT from PSG. I agree. That implies that your exchange, Binance, Bybit, Bitgate, whatever, bought CHZ to be able to buy PSG within Chiliz. And it is this exchange that allows the CHZ to be valued. And it is through all these exchanges that CHZ can be made. And this is why it is important to understand that from the moment a token is launched on CHZ, the CHZ will necessarily be used for monetary transfers directly linked to the exchange of this token. This distribution already gives, on a basic basis, a value higher than the level of Chiliz, because it is something which helps to boost the price in itself. Besides, they did a total rebranding almost a year ago. Now it's this new homepage. Historically, it was this one. We can clearly see that we have a change of image. We have a rebranding. We have clearly been preparing for the next bull run for some time already, and in particular with the launch of Chiliz 2, which was their new blockchain. A new blockchain which was somewhat mandatory to be able to ensure transactions, because there was a need for much more scalability, and which is now EVM compatible. Very important is that now it is a one EVM compatible level blockchain specialized for fan tokens and all the construction of applications around entertainment. And that's really their vision. That's why they built this next blockchain, which was actually called Scoville at the time before being called Chiliz 2. Now it's become Chiliz because it replaced the first blockchain. And its goal was really to facilitate accessibility, the transition to EVM compatible, which means that we can use Solidity and use applications that are already developed. On Ethereum, for example, on Scoville, facilitates access because it is much easier to find Solidity developers than Rust developers. That is quite obvious. Next, they are built on the notion of proof-of-stake authority, which allows for a little more specific governance and which makes it possible to, once again, give more value to the CHZ and their construction. Concerning the evolution of their blockchain, we see that they have chosen to act on the notion of gas fee distribution, which allows for a redistribution of 20% of the gas fees used for transactions to the protocol itself, even. That is to say, I build an application, I will receive 20% of the fees which are used by those who transact on my protocol. So it's a form of incentive to build on it and actually maintain what I've built, because the more we will build interesting things, the more users we have, the more users we will have, the more transaction fees we will have, therefore the more profitable the decentralized application will be, and above all, the more profitable Chiliz will be. And that means that we will have much greater uses of CHZ. In terms of market cap, we are currently in 4 billion CHZ, which are in circulation for a total market cap of 88,888,888. So we are on a diluted market cap of 500 million. So we are in something which is rather coherent, which is rather correct in relation to the evolution that we can have in terms of other blockchains in this type of blockchain. So we can target even just a market cap, a bull run, with additional valuation of the ecosystem behind it. CHZ, with necessarily the incentive and a return of liquidity, We can already aim for a cheese which can fetch the 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 billion valuation. It is something which can be totally conceivable. Concerning Chiliz, we also have socios.com, socios.com, which is the application which brings together the use of fan tokens, which is generally the exploitation of Chiliz technology, okay? So that's really the classic use. An average user will not use the Chiliz blockchain with a simple decentralized application. He will use socios.com, which itself uses decentralized applications, everything that is built on Chiliz. It is very important. In terms of news, we still have a lot of things being done, partnerships being signed. So we have Chiliz, which is just arriving in Tokyo. Well, that limits us. We don't care a bit. What's really important is going to be these two. It's going to be a partnership that was made with football, which is here, which is a very strong institution in the notion of metaverse and in the notion of 3D interactive entertainment. So we reinforce this notion around entertainment. And next to it, we have Top Goal. So once again, a new actor coming into it. And we want us to have a dynamic where, yes, Chiliz is becoming the leader on the notion of fan token, on the very notion of general sports tokenization. And to go even further with all the signatures they have had, they become the leader in the infrastructure necessary to build marketing events that use Web3 in everything that is sports and entertainment. We have finished for the fundamental part. We are going to attack the technical part, which for its part is already a little more complicated in the sense that we have here an accumulation which is very strong, classic, which we can experience before having this very strong bullish acceleration, which left us the establishment of a BCRST distribution, classic, a Wyckoff distribution. If you do not know these acronyms, simply type on Google Wyckoff distribution, or you go to the Discord, which is in description, where you have all the information. So BC, Arkansas, ST, and therefore the SO, which is the sign of weakness, which is the lower part of this distribution, which is therefore an accumulation LT Woo week off, which we will look at in a few moments, and we will aim for this type of distribution, a UT and a UTAD, therefore two accelerations, that is to say with a take from the BC. So yes, in the meantime, we had some dilution of the token. The buying climax took place here. The maximum price took place with a number of tokens, which is much, much smaller than now. And obviously, we will need a lot more liquidity to reach these levels. But at the same time, it is completely logical. Alongside, we find ourselves in this sign of weakness, in this accumulation of wake up in which we had the low point, which was made in June 2022 on the breakout of Celsius, Terra Luna, Celsius. And we see that we had very little impact between the two. While BTC had really suffered, it doesn't matter at all with a very strong valuation. Following that, in which in September 2022, we really had a very, very big acceleration with October 2022, which was the key moment. And then we had the downward fall, which was marked very, very strong here by mainly FTX. But not only that, also quite simply a profit taking. We had seen here this bearish divergence at the time, which was in place and accelerated by FTX. And when we had this breakout here with this retest on January 2023, we have a global capitulation of people who got on this train, and therefore behind it we have a very strong bearish pressure which took place, and we see it because we made a lower with joint, and we have not retested since. Attached being the SEC's announcement on the fact that potentially many cryptos, including CHZ, would be securities. And we can clearly see that we have had a downward pressure since which is strong and which does not manage to start rising again. Unlike certain altcoins, which are a little more resilient there, we have something which continues to sink, although we have a fairly good start to the week. Clearly, we are in the process of potentially going to retest here this reaccumulation which has been carried out before the bullish acceleration. So we could very well see a CHZ looking for this golden zone here, which is in the 0.035, or even potentially lower, going for the 0.016. This is the bottom of my spot zone, and at the bottom of its spot zone, we have the golden zone, which corresponds to a truly optimal buying zone for searching for targets. Looking for targets, yes, because in all cases, I think that uses will have an interesting valuation during the next bull run. Already initially, we will retest the upper part. So the 0.3, imagine that if we recover in the golden zone, even if only in the middle of the golden zone, to retest the upper part, we are already sure of the 900% profit. So if only just to do a retest of this rupture of accumulation, we understood that we were going to do a retest of the upper block. We did the SCAR, STB. So there we are well in the liquidity of this accumulation of wake off. And therefore, there we would have to make a break in the air to clearly mark the bullish deal. And therefore, at that moment, we would start again above 0.3. So that means that just on this part there, depending on the purchase price that we are going to have a valuation which will be relatively interesting. What can we set as a very big target? very big target, implied next bull run with significant injection of liquidity in which we have Chiliz, which takes a significant part cake, and in which we can target them here, wave 1. Wave 2, Eliottis to prepare for wave 3. Wave 3, 1.618 objective of Fibonacci extension, classic golden ratio, which gives us the 1, 5, therefore a CHZ token at 1, $5 therefore, which would precisely give a very nice valuation to this project, in which we would exceed $10 billion in valuation for something which becomes the leader in entertainment and the tokenization of entertainment, which seems more or less logical. Once again, it will depend on many things. It will depend, one, on the ecosystem, the bull run, the liquidity injection. Yes or no, do we have a protocol that continues to develop with the next bull run, which will be able to capture this liquidity and create additional value? It's obvious, but we'll have to decide at that point whether or not we're going to look for higher targets. Or are we taking profit in the 0.3, or even why not? Here in the 0.65, that will be up to you, and in any case, I will make you update videos on it. I hope you like this video. If so, leave me a like and a comment. It always makes me very happy, and I will answer your questions. And if you like this type of video, I'm sure you'll enjoy the video I made yesterday on VRA, the Veracity token, which is a protocol that is in full turmoil, in full drama currently. I'll put the link here, and we'll see you tomorrow for a new video.